Jaipur. Good morning to all of you. My name is Dr. Sunil Dutt, Professor Education and Education Management at National Institute of Technical Teacher Training and Research, Chandigarh. Basically, I am a science postgraduate, did my MSc honors in chemistry, thereafter shifted to education, did my post graduation and PhD in education technology, all from Punjab University, Chandigarh. After working for about 2.5 years in industries, I joined teaching profession as a lecturer in a college of education at Ambala city and taught there for 7 years. I joined this institution in 1992 and presently professor of education and also heading the academic cell of this institute. As you know, academic cell of NITR Chandigarh is responsible for admission and examination of Master of Engineering program and PhD program. I'm also working as Central Public Information Officer under RTA Act since 2005. So I have to my credit about 30 years of experience in teaching and research and have already guided 31 PhD dissertations registered with Punjab University Chandigarh. Presently, 7 more students are pursuing their PhD program. I have to my credit 6 textbooks in education technology and contributed about 49 papers in international and national journals. Now coming to today's session, in the engineering college, we engage theory classes, we conduct practicals, we also organize training programs for the students as well as for the teachers. So education and training programs are the main, you can say, programs and activities of every engineering college. In the past, plans for teaching, instruction or training have been largely made by intuition and have often been based upon ambiguous purposes and casual subjective judgment. What I mean, say a topic is Ohm's law in a theory class. We wish to include the content as per our own requirement, and if somebody asks us what is your purpose or what is your objective, we generally say that my objective is to enable my students understand something. Likewise, say program is on a research methodology, training program is on a research methodology, so we simply say that our main focus on this program is to make them understand research methodology. Now, if this kind of objective is there, then how you are going to measure the achievement of this kind of, you can say, objective? Very difficult. So we generally employ essay kind of questions, which may include, say, open-ended, very open-ended. Say, what do you mean? What do you understand? Write a short note or discuss something. Now, you see, at that time, the emphasis has been with methods of teaching or methods of training rather than learning. Now it has been realized that instructional process, whether it is in the theory subjects or practical subjects, or it is in a training program, it is very complex. It is composed of many interrelated components and parts which must operate in a coherent manner in order to achieve success. So by manipulating or by controlling a few of the components or part, it is not possible to achieve hope for success, that is the learning by the trainee or learning by the students. So in order to intelligently relate all the components of this complex instruction process in building a successful program, an approach similar to one widely used in industries, business, space exploration is receiving an increased attention. And that approach involves development of an overall plan incorporating the interrelated components in a sequential manner. And that approach is called as systems approach. So whether we are imparting instruction in the classroom or the laboratory or in a training program, we need to employ systems approach. So this session is on systematic approach to design of training program. Since this particular course is about faculty development, so training program is one part of faculty development. So now we will focus on the difference between the three terms. One is the training, second one is education, and third one is development. People have been using these terms interchangeably, but actually the meaning of these three terms is different. Training is short term, maybe of 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 months. Task oriented. Say training program is on research methodology. It could be of 1 week or 2 weeks, and we focus on various tasks and targeted on achieving a change of knowledge, skills, and attitude. Now, three things I have used: knowledge, skill, and attitude. Knowledge is what does someone need to know in order to do a job. That is the theory part. Skill, what does someone need to be able to do. So skill is something which requires hand and head coordination. And the third component is attitude. That is, what sort of approach does a person doing that job need to have. So training is a short term, task oriented, and focused on achieving a change of attitude, skills, and knowledge in a particular specific area. So it is usually job related. Of course, training can be given on the job, it can be given off the job also. There are certain methods where we can provide training to the trainees in a normal classroom, and sometimes we need to provide training to the trainee at his or her workplace, how that job is to be performed. Whereas education is a lifetime investment, lifelong learning. It tends to be initiated by a person in the area of his or her interest. For example, somebody wishes to pursue his BTech in chemical engineering, someone is interested in civil engineering, and so on. So education. And the third one is the development. So development, as you know, is a long-term investment in human resources. So many organizations are now thinking of developing their human resources through providing education and training program. Now coming to what is training. Training is a systematic process through which an organization's human resources, both technical, yani teaching and non-teaching. So technical faculty, both technical and non-technical, and non-teaching. So through which an organization's human resources gain knowledge and develop skills by instruction or by some group task, practical activities that result in improved performance of the organization. So it is through training that we develop our resources, and which in turn would result in better performance of the organization. It is an organization's planned effort to facilitate employees' learning of job-related competence. It means it's a lot of planning is required. You need to carry out who needs to be trained, what are his deficiencies, what are the gaps. So you need to first of all find out the performance of each and every individual and find out the areas in which he or she is lacking. And based upon the gaps, you need to identify the content or the job related content in which he or she is to be sent for acquiring knowledge, skills, and attitude through a training program. So it is a planned effort to facilitate employees learning of job related competencies, or you can say it is a method of enhancing human performance. Of course, training is needed to enhance the performance of the human resources. It is a systematic process, as I have been telling you that it is a complex process. So it is composed of many interrelated components or part that must operate in a coherent manner in order to achieve success. So it is a systematic process of enhancing the knowledge, skill, and attitude of a person for doing a specified job by providing various, you can say, learning experiences. It helps the trainee acquire some new skill. Say one technical person doesn't know how to operate a photocopier. So you may arrange a training of say 1 day, and he or she may be given input on operation of photocopier, and he or she may also be given feedback while he or she is performing on the photocopier. So it helps the trainee require new skills, technical knowledge, even problem solving ability, whereby the performance of the employee can be enhanced. It also gives awareness of rules and procedures, say accounting procedures, rules. Accounts people may require some rules. So how to deduct income tax at source, what is the rate. Say if a faculty has been going to various institutions for attending program, so how TADA is to be paid to all these persons in under which rule. So it means you need to provide training to your non-teaching staff also in the area of rules and procedures. So as I told you that in the past, planning is largely by intuition and subjective judgment. That is not good, because focus has been on training method rather than on learning, and instructional process, as you know, is highly complex because it is affected by number of variables. Now you see, in a classroom, in a laboratory, in a workshop, or even in a training program like you are attending, there are wide individual differences amongst learners. In a classroom, there are variety of learners. Some are fast learner, some learns best when something is told to them, some learns best when uh, some you see hands-on experiences are provided, or some PPT is shown to them, or some say a video program is shown to them. Variety of subjects. In teaching learning situation, you come across with a variety of subjects. Some require say uh, uh, involving demonstration, sometimes discussion is to be involved. So and variety of learning tasks. So variety. Then variety of instruction methods, media. This also affect the performance of the trainee, performance of the students, and the training evaluation. That is how you are evaluating their performance, whether evaluation is providing reliable and valid results. So these two important components are very important. So by manipulating or controlling one or few variables, it is not possible to achieve hope for success. It is not possible to achieve the desired result. So systems approach is holistic approach. It takes into consideration various factors, various variables. Now, before going further, let me uh, give you an idea about a system. If I ask you what is a system, definitely you will say that system refers to set of elements arranged in an orderly manner to accomplish an objective. Set of element arranged in a fixed order, in an orderly way to accomplish an objective. For example, computer as a system. So what are the components? Input, process, output. Input means the various components of the system. Process means interaction amongst those components, and the output is to process data and provide information. Business as a system. The input to the business as a system includes raw material, machinery, finance, human resources. Process, there is lot of interaction among all these components, and the output is that you achieve profitability. That is the output is to achieve profitability or to enhance the turnover. Likewise, engineering college or polytechnic as a system. You look at this picture. So input to the engineering college is the students who have acquired 10 plus 2 qualification, whether through CBSE board, whether through some state board of school education, enter the system with some knowledge, skills and attitude. There are resources which are fed to the system. Resources may include the physical resources, that is the space and the equipment, human resources, faculty, technical staff, non-teaching staff, then the information which may include library, document, curriculum document, etc. Then some energy resources like electricity, water, etc. and financial, both plan and non-plan. So these are interacting, and the output is that the students coming out of the technical institution after undergoing 4 years process with changed set of knowledge, skills and attitude. At the time of entry to the system, he had some knowledge, skills and attitude, but at the end of 4 years, he possesses requisite knowledge, skills and attitude matching with the requirement of word of work. Now, word of work provides us feedback whether the student who has come out of the institution possesses requisite knowledge, skills and attitude, or the knowledge is outdated. So some feedback is given to the system, and system makes changes in the various components and then redesign it and again implement it. So system contains input, process and output, and as I said that it is a set of elements arranged in an orderly manner to achieve or to accomplish an objective. Now I have given you 3-4 examples, and you might have noticed that system is not a randomly arranged set of element. It is arranged with some logic, governed by rules, regulations, principles, policies, and such an arrangement is going to influence the overall functioning as well as overall achievement of the objective. For example, if a computer system is designed To process data and provide information, you may require a specific set of components or elements. And if we make some changes to the objective of the system, for example, computer system is designed to achieve an objective of, say, design, engineering, and drawing processing, then you may require different set of elements. Some may be common, but you specifically require different set of elements. So a very specific statement of the objective brings precision and an order into the selection of the elements and their arrangement in the system. If there is some disorder, then it is going to affect the overall functioning of the system as a whole. So it means system is a holistic approach. It takes into consideration various components. You look at yourself, body as a system. It has got number of subsystems. Like as I told you that computer contains so many components, say a keyboard, mouse, screen. All these are subsystem to the computer as a system, but they are system in themselves. Okay, again, mouse has got input, process, output. Keyboard has got input, process, output. Body as a system, it has got number of subsystems like digestive system, circulatory system, nervous system. All these subsystems are functioning independently, and all these subsystems are functioning in relation to each other. And if there is some disorder in any of these subsystems, it is going to influence, affect the overall functioning of the body as a system, as a whole. Okay, so you have to clearly state the objective, and accordingly you will select the elements and you will arrange those elements. Now we'll start with you have to design a training program. We'll start with need analysis. Which employees are lacking in which areas? So you have prepared the gaps. Now you will carry out the task analysis. From the task analysis, you will formulate the broad aim of the training program or the general objectives of the training program. You will of course prepare a criterion test in order to see whether the trainee has attained required knowledge, required set of knowledge, skills, and attitude, because we require this criterion test at the end of the training program in order to say study the gains in knowledge, skills, and attitude. So then content synthesis of training methods. Training is implemented, its training program is conducted, trainees are assessed, training evaluation is done, evaluation of training, and then that provides you feedback so for improvement, and that gives back to the starting point. So training design process, you can employ systems approach. The design of training program results from some perceived need, because say in the normal classroom teaching we have come across certain gaps, that what is needed, that there is a gap between what is needed and what is given. So there is a lot of gap where you want to achieve and where you actually reach. It's a gap. So gap you have to identify. Sometimes the subject is outdated. You need to make modification in various subjects. So as far as training program is concerned, you need to carry out need analysis. So you can prepare one, say, questionnaire which may which may state various components, requesting the members of the human resources to indicate their responses. So from the list, from the questionnaire, we will identify the gaps. So it's a process of identifying the performance requirement and then the gap between what performance is required and what presently exists. So gap is between where you want to reach and where you have actually arrived. So gap in the performance, you need to identify that gap. So after need analysis is carried out, you formulate the major goals and objectives. For example, say we have identified that our faculty members are not contributing to research and development. Okay, now we will formulate the broad objective goal of the training program, that after undergoing a training program of 2 weeks, the participants will be able to undertake small piece of research, maybe experimental research, maybe descriptive research, maybe action research. This is the broad objective. And what could be the specific objective? That he will be able to identify the problem for research, keeping in mind the criteria of selection of a problem. He will be able to define the problem, that is, state the problem. He will be able to formulate the objectives or the research questions. He will be able to review the literature and prepare a summary of the literature. He will be able to identify the gaps. He will be able to formulate the hypothesis. He will be able to select a suitable research methods for investigating that problem. He will be able to select the sample. He will be able to design a questionnaire or develop instruments for data collection. He will be able to collect the data. He will be able to analyze the data using appropriate statistical techniques. He will be able to interpret the results, and he will be able to write a research report, final report, and finally evaluate the report. So goals and objectives, and then prioritization of needs and goals. You see, you have noticed number of gaps in various individuals. You need to prioritize which needs are to be taken first and which needs are to be taken later on. Say out of 70 faculty members, 30 faculty members lack in research skills, 20 members lack in the evaluation area, say 10% lack in the practicals, conduct of practicals. So we need to prioritize that, focus on the area in which many people are lacking behind. So we will arrange a training program on research methodology, sometimes training program on effective teaching, and like that. So you need to prioritize your needs, and after prioritizing the need, you need to prioritize the goals in that particular training program. Say research methodology course is there. Now you need to make a sequence of the goal. पहले आपने क्या उनको ट्रेनिंग देनी है, then क्या, then क्या, then क्या. Okay, you need to prioritize. So this is the first step. So analyze, that is, what is the problem? Okay, why this performance of a particular individual is low? So do the problem analysis. Is it a training problem? You can see from the analysis of the performance what skills, knowledge should be included in the training program. So task analysis, so competency analysis, and who needs to be trained. So trainee analysis, because there are so many faculty members, so who needs to be trained. So this analysis you have to carry out, and then you have to do the problem and performance analysis. Clearly define the problem and a formal procedure used to analyze defined needs to determine their causes and identify appropriate solutions. Now, after the need analysis is carried out and the broad goals and objectives have been prioritized and formulated, the next task of the designer is to specify what the present state of system is. Each component is reviewed in terms of its available resources and constraints. A designer may ask few questions like the entry behavior, what they already know. That is very important. Only then you will be able to identify the contents of the training program, which components are included. Okay. How would trainees learn that the goals specify? From whom would they learn? From where they would find resources, constraints, or help? What would it cost? Is some compromise required to be made? What are the alternative routes to reach the learning outcome? And you will also prepare a list of resources. For example, say you need to organize a training program on research methodology. Do we have a bigger seminar hall which can accommodate 60, 70 teachers? Do we have relevant faculty with experience in research methodology? If no, from where you can have, how much that is so you have to study the existing resources, also prepare quantity, type, what you want. Then the third step is determining the subject structure and sequence. For example, in designing a course on BTech course on computer science and engineering, you need to identify the broad subjects. Subjects are to be given sequence. पहले साल कौन कौन से सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाए जाएंगे, दूसरे साल कौन कौन से पढ़ाए जाएंगे, तीसरे साल कौन से पढ़ाए जाएंगे, चौथे साल कौन से पढ़ाए जाएंगे. देन उन सब्जेक्ट में फर्दर कंटेंट की एनालिसिस होगी कि पहले क्या पढ़ाना है, फिर क्या पढ़ाना है. लाइकवाइज इन ए ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम, फर्स्ट डे कौन से कंटेंट दिए जाएंगे, सेकंड डे कौन से, और हर एक टॉपिक में जो फर्दर आउटलाइनिंग है वो क्या होगी. सो यूनिट्स, चैप्टर्स, टॉपिक्स, सब टॉपिक्स, data, information. Then next one is analysis of subject objectives. Three types of analysis would be carried out. One is information processing analysis for revealing the mental operations which make possible for the trainees that they have mastered the objectives. Mentor will define, he will be able to explain, he will be able to describe, and so on. These are the mental operations. What he will be able to do at the end of the training, how he can apply the knowledge, skills, and attitude gained during training program in actual work setting. And then second one is the task classification. I mean to say, task classification means that our broad objective, say in a engineering college, our broad objective is to develop all-round personality of a student. That is, when he goes out of the institution, he must possess not only the knowledge, but also will be able to perform, that is the skill, and also must be able to show proper attitude towards technology, towards other people. He must know how to work in team, how to make decision, how to solve problem, how to communicate, how to maintain good relations with colleagues and fellow friends, etc. So it means three domains: knowledge, skills, and attitude. And we give different terminology. Knowledge is concerned with our cognition, so cognitive domain, which may include the lowest level of knowledge, that is knowledge about basic terminology, then understanding, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Skill, hand and head coordination. What are its phases? Attitude, again, receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, and characterizing. So we will see what knowledge and skill and attitude we are going to impart through training program, particular training program, say on research methodology. Then learning task analysis means task analysis is a process of breaking down the complexity of an activity into easier steps. These steps are then arranged in a sequence and trainees are given input on those components in the sequence one by one. So task analysis is nothing but a process of breaking down or analyzing a task into smaller and more detailed constituent units and of then sequencing these units of analysis in an order of priority based upon their importance in learning. So both analysis and synthesis are required, and I'll give you one or two illustrations. Task analysis can be of three types. In a theory classroom, we provide training on topics. In laboratory workshops, we provide training on jobs. And there is third one is skill, which is the further extension of jobs. So topic analysis, job analysis, and skill analysis. Topic analysis, for example, Ohm's law, experimental method of research, statistical techniques for analyzing the data. You can do the task analysis. Job analysis, setting up a lathe, preparing, setting up the apparatus as per the circuit diagram, preparation of carbon dioxide gas, putting entries in a ledger. All these are jobs. And the third one is a skill, which is the small act which has no structure. So small act, say this pen, I am holding this whiteboard marker. So placing this whiteboard marker from this place to this place. So it's a small act. So it means a job may contain several small acts. So we have to carry out the skill analysis also. Now let me give you one example. Top task is any job, topic or skill. So how we can do the task analysis? For example, any topic, for teaching that topic or for giving training to the trainees on a particular topic, you have to teach this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Again, this has to be broken down into further two subunits. That is, for teaching this unit of analysis, you have to teach this one, this one. Likewise, for teaching this particular unit of analysis, you have to train the trainees in these five subunits. This has been further broken down, and this, so it means you will see that there are several levels of analysis, and each level produces greater detail than the one before it, and each level follows progressively and logically from the one before it. And you will notice that at the top the content was less detailed, at the bottom it is too much detail, and you can go on breaking down till the tasks are completely covered. यानी further उस चीज को ट्रेन करने के लिए कुछ और नहीं बताना. So you can break down. Let me take one example. Job of an engine mechanic. So I have broken down it into 5 units. That is tuning the carburetor. It is one of the duties. Adjusting tappets, adjusting spark plug gap, changing engine oil, cleaning the spark plug. Now say one of them is further subdivided into 4 activities. jacking up the car. That is, for changing engine oil, you need to jack up the car first. You need to place oil container under the sump. Then you will remove the sump plug, and then you will allow the oil to drain away. Now, let us now further classify them. Let us take one, jacking up the car. So what you will do, you need to acquire right kind of jack. You need to position the jack at a proper place, and you need to manipulate to certain height. So you see how a topic or a job is analyzed into various subtopics, and subtopics into further subtopics or subunits. So task analysis is very important, and it plays a very important role, because while preparing task analysis, you will come to know that you are taking into consideration all the components. You are not ignoring anyone, and that you may discuss with your colleagues also. Now, after carrying out task analysis, the next task required of the teacher is, or the trainer is, to define performance objective. Performance objective is nothing but a sentence or statement which describes what the trainee will be able to do at the end of a unit of instruction. So you need to specify learning outcome. That is what they will be able to do. And that learning performance must be observable and measurable. For example, I have given input on, say, writing the statement of the research problem, and I ask question, what do you mean by writing the statement of the problem? Now this question is very vague. You cannot observe, you cannot measure. But if I ask, explain, take up a problem area and explain the criteria of selection of this research problem. Explain the criteria, this is specific. Now you see, normal classroom teaching, the topic is, say, force. And if I ask, what is force? What do you know about force? Not observable, not measurable. But if I ask, define force, state SI unit of force, highly specific. You can observe, you can measure it very well. And objectives must be written in 3 domains, as I had already given you the input: cognitive domain, the psychomotor domain, and the affective domain. Cognitive domain is concerned with knowledge. Psychomotor domain is concerned with skills, that is hand and head coordination. And the affective domain is concerned with our attitude, our feelings, our values, our interests, and so on. Let me give you illustration how to develop training objectives. So while developing training objectives, you need to consider 3 aspects. One is, what is the terminal behavior, and that you will specify. It means you will make use of label, you will make use of action verb. For example, label, write, solve, identify, differentiate. I will give you one example. Second is the condition under which behavior is to be performed. Maybe some restrictions, maybe some limitations, maybe some rules, procedure. And the third one is criteria of acceptable performance. That is the level of performance to evaluate success of performance. Now these 3 aspects must be included while writing performance objective. Let me give you one illustration. Given a circuit diagram for Philips P231 amplifier and P231 amplifier with one defect, the trainee will locate the fault in 10 minutes. Locate, it is the first one, okay? And the second one is given, you have been given, okay? And the third one is, the acceptable level is that he will be able to complete in 10 minutes. Another example, using a standard climbing harness and spikes, the trainee will climb a standard telephone pole within 5 minutes following all safety procedures. So this is how performance objectives are to be stated. Must include three things. One is the terminal behavior, second one is the condition, and third one is the acceptable level of performance. वो क्या होनी चाहिए? Now the next stage is preparing a lesson plan. So it means of now we are going to topic level. You have identified the topics to be included in a training program, and for each topic you have to prepare a lesson plan. Lesson plan is nothing but a teaching outline of important points of a lesson arranged in the order in which they are to be presented. It may include objectives to be achieved, points to be made, questions to be asked, reference to media, assignment, questions, etc. So, lesson plan is nothing but a plan of actions of what a trainer has to do in a training program, in a particular topic, in a particular job. So it covers events of instruction in the introductory, developmental, and recapitulation stages. Now, what are the events of instruction at the introductory level? The trainer has to gain the attention of the trainees. So he will gain the attention using different ways. One way could be explaining the significance of that particular topic before coming to the actual topic. Okay. For example, in a normal classroom, if a topic is on inertia, how would I introduce? First of all, I'll show them this one object and keep it on the table, and I will ask, what is the position of this object? Definitely they will say that it is at rest. On switching on the fan, another question, what is the position of this fan? Naturally they will say it is in motion. Now this object is at rest. How can I bring it into motion? They will say by pushing or by pulling, that is by applying some force. Wonderful. You are sitting in a moving bus and the driver suddenly applies brakes. What happens? We go forward. And what happens when the driver suddenly starts the bus? We go backward. Why are these due to? Now the students are, 7th class student is very curious to know why, because he has already experienced these things in normal day-to-day life. Then you will say that these are due to laws of inertia. So today in this session we will learn laws of inertia. So it means you have explained the significance of that particular topic. So that will help you to gain their attention. Very important. So the introduction includes, one is review of prerequisites, and second is overview of your lecture. Then you give an overview of your lecture that in this session we will cover this. Okay. Likewise, during developmental stages, what are the events of instruction? Asking question, responding to trainees' answers, inviting questions from the trainees, or involving trainees while developing the lecture, using showing some PowerPoint presentation, writing main point on the chalkboard or whiteboard, etc. And at the recapitulation stage, you will ask few questions. You will summarize the lecture or the topic, and then you will give them some task for practice. So these have to be. Then next one is developing or selecting materials or media, because number of studies have been conducted and they have concluded that trainees who are exposed to some theory content or practical content with the help of some media achieved higher scores than the trainees who are taught by chalk and talk method. So you need to develop. Sometimes lot of instruction material is available in your resource center. You need to select. Okay. Then assessing trainees' performance. This is next task. One is the formative evaluation. That is before coming to the topic, what he or she must possess, possesses, or you assume that my trainees are, you see, equipped with this. You need to test. Summative evaluation. That is after the content you have delivered, you need to ask question. And for this, you will prepare a criterion test, small achievement test. Then trainer preparation is absolutely necessary. You see, teacher preparation is also very much important. There is a need to train teachers or trainers for updating them, for upgrading them in the area of, say, education technology, research and development, workshop, and so on. So trainer preparation is also needed, very much important, and every organization must arrange training program for the trainers, for the teachers. Like the management of these three institutions have arranged a training program on faculty development. Now they will be able to design a training program after this particular session is over or after this particular program is over. Then formative evaluation to know the problem. For example, you have conducted a pilot program, you have implemented on a pilot basis this training program. You will seek some feedback from the participants, and the valuable feedback will help you to modify the design of training program for future. Okay, so formative evaluation, so, field testing that you will implement to a small group, and then you will seek feedback, and further end term, that is summative evaluation. Finally, you will implement the training program, and as you know, NITR has been conducting large number of programs for the teachers, and at the end of the program, we take feedback from the participants so that we can improve upon our future program. So friends, system approach you need to employ for designing a training program, or even for designing a lecture for your theory subject, or for a, or you can say for a skill for a practical subject. So with this we end to we complete this particular session on systems approach to instruction design, this training program. If you have any query, you are welcome. Yes. Yes, any query? Madhav University, Sirohi, do you wish to add something? JIT Jaipur, if anyone, any participant of your institution wants to add, or
Thank you, sir. We don't have any query.
okay, and Government Engineering College Bikaner,
don't have any query, sir. From mother university, sir. ऐसे नहीं होता है इसका सीधा चले जाना है वो देगा
हाँ जी, माधव यूनिवर्सिटी, आपके पास कोई क्वेरी है या कोई ऐड करना चाहते हैं? यू आर वेलकम.
no query. So there are no query.
Okay, so टी ब्रेक से पहले आई वुड लाइक टू गिव यू वन स्मॉल टास्क जो आपने 11:30 to 1 o'clock तक करना है. वो टास्क ये है दैट आपके पास सिविल इंजीनियरिंग के टीचर हैं, मैकेनिकल के हैं, इलेक्ट्रिकल के हैं, एंड देयर आर मोर अदर टीचर्स ऑफ वेरियस अदर ब्रांचेस. So what they will do, they will work in groups. The task is that they have to design a training program. से मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग के जो टीचर्स हैं, दे विल डिजाइन ए ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम. तो उसके लिए पहले 5-6 टीचर आपस में डिस्कस करेंगे कि इन विच एरिया that is need analysis will be carried out, and that you will give the justification कि हमने ये 4 एरियाज आइडेंटिफाई किए थे, लेकिन इनमें से इस एरिया के ऊपर we would like to conduct a training program. So ट्रेनिंग TNA, और उसके बाद आप उस प्रोग्राम के ब्रॉड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स लिखेंगे, कोर्स ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या हैं, एंड देन यू विल टेल अबाउट द कोर्स कंटेंट, कि कोर्स कंटेंट क्या होगा, उसकी सीक्वेंसिंग कैसे होगी, यानी पहला टॉपिक क्या लिया जाएगा, सेकंड टॉपिक, यानी 1 वीक का ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम आपने ऑर्गेनाइज करना है. तो आपको एक प्रपोजल बनाना है. यू विल राइट द ट्रेनिंग नीड एनालिसिस, देन कोर्स ऑब्जेक्टिव, कोर्स कंटेंट, उसकी सीक्वेंसिंग, और हु विल बी द रिसोर्स पर्सन, यानी कुछ टीचर तो आपके अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन से होंगे, कुछ टीचर जो आउटसाइड से होंगे, एंड देन उसकी शेड्यूलिंग, यानी 1 वीक का पूरा टाइम टेबल बनाएं कि पहले दिन क्या करना है, सेकंड डे, थर्ड डे, फोर्थ डे, फिफ्थ डे, एंड देन फाइनली द बजटिंग पार्ट, हाउ मच बजट you require for organizing a training program. So this is a task. तो आपने 11:30 से 12:30 तक करना है, और 12:30 पे हम कुछ प्रेजेंटेशंस जो है वो करवाएंगे.